Okay, I'm back again. It's June 16th, 2023, and we got us a garden update. I'm making the garden update as, to continue my journey. I didn't record, I don't think I recorded anything from the garden last month in May, but I was so busy harvesting that I didn't have time to pull the camera out. I mean, I harvest probably close to 1,000. It feel like it, and I'm not exaggerating. Almost 500 tomatoes out of this garden. Cherry tomatoes, I lost count. I got to a point where I'm overwhelmed with cherry tomatoes, picking them. Purple hull peas, I done got 2 batches out of here already. The summer crookneck squash has been continuous. You probably can see them off in the distance, the yellow that stands out. Everything just grew this year, and I didn't cover anything this year. When the heat wave came, we're on our 4th day probably of 100-degree weather, and it don't seem to really bother them that much. They're so bushy out there. I guess that's helping them stay cool. I actually, every bush out here was full of the fruit it was supposed to have, whether it was watermelons or cantaloupes or whatever. I left those. I picked some of the baby watermelons, but all the tomatoes that was full size or half size, green or not, I picked them. That way they didn't cook on the vine. I thought it was going to get hot like last summer, but it really didn't. And cucumbers. It was so many cucumbers on all the cucumber bushes. I got loads and loads of cucumbers. I've been pickling them. We've been eating cucumber salad. I mean, just outrageous. But today we're going to count some cantaloupes after I take you a tour through the garden. Over here, those are black-eyed peas, California black-eyed cow peas, and they're ready to be picked. These plants here were all full of tomatoes. I picked a bunch of tomatoes off, and I was expecting the plant to stop growing once it got hot and to drop its flowers, but it's not. It's steady producing tomatoes. And as you can tell, they're up top, but on the bottom of the plants, there were plenty of tomatoes. I've picked them all. Then the cherry tomatoes, this thing is just massive, and I constantly cut it back, and it starts to grow out again. Make some nice big old cherry tomatoes, so I've been canning them. I made sauce out of them. I made pizza sauce literally out of them. And I just was out here the other day. I've been out here twice, and I try to pick all the red ones. If you don't, they burst, and then they drop up under here, and obviously they're trying to reproduce themselves. But they grow. I'll grow these again next year if they're not already, if they don't come up on their own. It probably will. Here's my red peppers, hot peppers. I got bunches and bunches. I got enough to make hot sauce right now, or any crushed red pepper or whatever. I just was out here picking these. They get really big this year, and I planted those 2 plants last May, May of 2022. So that plant so far has been a year long. This one has tomatoes and spinach and peppers all in one container. The spinach planted its own self, and the tomatoes planted its own self. And those were tomatoes from last 2022 also, that was designed to grow in a container. Got oregano, got my parsley. There's one right there trying to go to seed. I mean, it's bolting, so normally I just snip off or cut off this part right here. That'll make it keep just growing leaves. This part right here, if I can back out, see, it's about to have seeds. My cucumber plant, these were diva cucumbers, and they grow pretty longer than the package said they was going to grow, but I've cleaned them out of here. I just picked them all. I got Purple whole pea hiding down here, and actually there's a cucumber. There's a cucumber and a purple whole pea side by side. Look at that. And that one I'm gonna get out of there because I'll never find it again. And it's ready to come off the branch. Well, it didn't break, but it's ready. It's not ready. It's supposed to get real purple, but I won't find it if I don't get it now, because they hide pretty good when the sun is out. You know, cucumbers, they get really big. Over here I got my squash plants. I done trained them to go up this post, and they're in here. They're growing. There's one down there that's probably ready to be picked. It's down in there. I probably shouldn't be grabbing these daggone things. See that guy? It's down in there ready to be picked. There's a purple hole there. See that? I mean, purple holes are everywhere. They're invasive. They take over. They try to take the whole garden. But now that one is ready. That one, it has pink, and the bottom is white, but normally you want it all the way pink, but that one's ready to be picked. This one is almost white at the bottom, but it still has a little green. I got thyme down there. My marigolds finally grew. I got a whole bunch of them there. Some got so huge, they were about 6 feet tall. Curly parsley up under there. All my cayenne peppers I picked yesterday. Too bad you could have seen them hanging. That's another cayenne pepper. I picked all of them yesterday. Just went ahead and removed them. These were tomatoes, the super sauce, Burpee super sauce, and I literally picked every tomato off of this bush, and they start growing more. So when they say it's indeterminate and they're gonna keep growing, they're gonna keep growing, and they got huge. That's one of my cantaloupe patches, and it's full of cantaloupes. We will go out. We're gonna count the cantaloupes before the video is over with. There's one right there. See them? Cantaloupe. But we're gonna cover a whole bunch of them. They're everywhere. They're hiding everywhere. There's one under there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. There's one right there, little one. There's one right there. There's one. I mean, they're everywhere. But we're gonna come back and count them eventually. And that's my sweet basil. I've been clipping off all that for the last couple of weeks because I've been mixing them with the putting them in the jar when I've been jarring all these tomatoes that I done grow. There's no way to eat them all, so I've been jarring them. And this one here, as you can see, this is a 10 by 10 tent. And you see how high that tomato plant got? That bin is, that green part is 1 foot. So that tomato plant is every bit of 7 feet tall. All of them were, you know, the storm come through and they knock it over and I had to stand them up. It was 3 of them out there. If you go back and look at my previous videos, you'll see they were just 3 little guys. And they all grew to be monsters. And a tomato factory, they are. Here's the back side of cherry tomatoes. I actually got tomatoes in here, regular sized tomatoes. I planted tomatoes back here, and there was a whole row straight in the ground instead of in the raised bin. And I harvested all of them back here, and they're still growing tomatoes back here. They're still growing. After I cleaned them off, they just keep growing. And as you can see, the cherry tomato tried to take over them. The tomatoes I grew were from one tomato from Walmart. And I took the seeds out and I grew all these tomatoes from one tomato, except for the super sauce. The super sauce tomatoes were from Burpee, seeds from Burpee. And I think I got 1, 2, 3. I got four plants out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants I have of Burpee super sauce. But the rest are from one Roma tomato from Walmart. I finally got an onion shot showing up. There's one there. And this one, these are grown from store-bought onions. So actually, that one there, maybe it's onion seed I put down, but I'm inclined to believe that it's from a squirrel onion. You know, I put them in the garden to help fight off the bugs. If you notice, my leaves aren't that bad. Now this tree here, this tomato tree turned a light green from the sun. I don't know if it's on its way out. I don't know what it's doing, but it used to be dark green like that there, like them two. Back here is the back side of my garden, and I put this down. It's for weed block, you know, landscaping guard, and I wanted a walkway and also a place for all my plants to spill out, especially those down there, those watermelon plants. This here is my grapevine, and the vine has almost climbed the whole trellis. If you go back and look at the video where it started. And back here you can find all kinds of vegetables. I have peas. I have Blue Lake beans back here that I pretty much cleaned off the stalks because I didn't want them to cook. But here goes some more. They grew back just that quick. And I literally cleaned this bush off. I got them all over the garden, but I cleaned this bush off 2 days ago. I got 2 big bags of this stuff. These beans, Blue Lake bush beans. And all the yellow ones, the yellowish ones you see, those are all beans, and I literally picked them all off, so it shouldn't be none. And they were actually vining. They're vining too. They're supposed to be bush, but everything that says bush to me seems still the vine, because this one went way up the trellis, and they were hanging like this here in twos. In here I got cantaloupes too. See that? They're laying everywhere. There's cantaloupes everywhere. We're gonna uncover some of them. I'm gonna get my little stick and uncover them. I just don't want to lose track of the count when I start counting them. There's one of my trap plants. That's spinach over there, and this bolting is going to seed. And but it attracts the bugs. And when I cut it, I'll cut it and get rid of all the bugs and all the worms by just cutting it and putting it in the garbage, and then let it regrow. You can cut it down to the stem and it'll regrow. There's a cantaloupe hiding down there. I'm trying to remember where they're all at. There's a bunch of them. There's one hiding back up in there. So here's my watermelon plant. That's going to be a Congo watermelon there. And they're supposed to get really, really big. There's another super sauce tomato plant. There's a tomato plant experiment that I put inside of a grow bag. And this thing produced lots of tomatoes just in a grow bag. So I got a different plan I'm gonna do next year. This is gonna be a giant mammoth sunflower seed plant, and it's on its way. So I'm heading towards my mammoth watermelon. I stopped talking because I'm looking and I see beans over here starting to grow back, and I cleaned these bushes off. They grow back quick as heck. And it was bunches of them when I picked them the other day. There were bunches. It smells so aromatic over here. That's celery right there. I just smell that with the basil. I can understand why the bugs don't want to be over here. They don't want to be smelling good. So right here, I think I got another baby watermelon on the way right there. But definitely I got some ones definitely done grew up. See that? That's going to be a Congo. I believe there's another one in this bush somewhere. There it is right there. There's one over there. But they're in there. Everything hides. There's my leeks. They haven't got 4 feet tall yet, but they're not doing that bad. So it doesn't seem like there's another marigold, giant marigolds. Marigolds everywhere. I just put them in. It makes the garden look pretty, but also attracts the bees. Usually is 100 bees out here working, but the sun didn't come out yet, so it gives me a chance to video without cooking out here, without the glare of the sun. So I'm heading on around through the garden. It's like a bush fest in here. These are seeds that are going to grow more spinach. They actually sling themselves all over the garden. I can literally find spinach growing everywhere. If I back up and look on the ground, There's some right there. There's some right there. There's some right there. All trap plants. I call them my trap plants because it draws, the insects prefer them over anything else in the garden. So again, once it gets infested a little bit, a lot, I go ahead and I'm gonna grab these seeds probably tomorrow, and I can grow more. You just throw these over your shoulder on the ground and they start growing, and it make a good salad and a good spinach dip, and I've made a fondue, just delicious. So anyway, strawberries, never really produced any, so I don't think this is a strawberry area for those thinking about if they can grow strawberries. There's a whole new purple hull patch here, peas with celery in there, and I actually got 2 bell pepper plants intermingled. See that? See, there's 2 bell peppers, 1, 2, and there's another one right there. If you can see the difference in leaves, they got the little pods on them, the little things that's going to turn to bell peppers. The rest of that's purple hull peas on their way. This was my bell pepper plant that grew for 2 full years, and now it's actually going bye-bye. But it's been looking like this for the last 2 months. That's a new pepper right there. So I don't know whether to kill it, let it go or not. And here's a squash plant. And if you watch one of my videos, I showed you the bees pollinating the squash. That one right there, that flower has to open still and then be pollinated. It didn't open yet. If it had opened, I would let the bees do it, but those are males right there. And you would take some pollen from that and put it inside that flower, and it will pollinate. But it's not ready. It didn't open up. Peanuts ain't going to make it. I had some peanuts in here. I pulled them up yesterday. See them right there laying to the side. I got squash. The squash been that size, since I planted it. So they're not growing. I don't know why stuff won't grow in this container. So that's dirt I'm gonna have to use somewhere else. There's cantaloupes. This one is actually turning like an orange yellow. It says I had a big cantaloupe I picked, and I just knew that guy was done, but it was not. It wasn't sweet. It was still green inside. Then I read you don't wait for them to turn yellow. You wait for them to turn orange. So I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but they're orange, or just about. So they're almost done. I picked this here. This is a grilling squash. Pretty orange squashes. Got some mint right here. Some mint going on. They don't look too happy right now. That one does. See how green that one looks? The rest of them don't look that happy, especially those. Those don't turn yellow. But I mean, we've been having 100-degree weather. So all of this had purple hulls. I mean, buttloads of purple hull peas. These here, and I pretty much cleaned this off. I've harvested from this probably 4 or 5 times. So that flower right there, that's a new purple hull. That's going to be a new purple hull. So till it stops flowering, I'm pretty much going to leave it there. If I don't see any more pods like that there, then it's done, and I'm gonna pull it up and put some more down. Cucumber plant back here. It's been growing cucumbers up the wazoo. There's a squash in there. There's squash everywhere. So the squash grows real well down here in Houston. So if you want to try something, you can try squash. There's a purple hull that's ready to come off. It got a little green on the back side, but I'll probably go ahead and pick it. There's another one of those grilling squashes. They gotta get about 6.5, 7 inches long. I already picked one already. That's a squash, some more grilling squash. See that? This is a whole nother cantaloupe patch. You see, I got cantaloupes all in the grass. They grow out of there and start traveling out on my grass. But I'm gonna get control of them. Over there, you got purple hull. You got more squash. Oh, let me go show you my lettuce, romaine lettuce. By the way, that's chives. The chives really took off. They don't mind the sun. So I just haven't had any mashed potatoes to cut them and put them on yet. But okay, cucumbers hiding everywhere. So if I come over here, here's where I threw some. I cut some of those leaves off of the off of there, the squash, and I threw them in there just to give it some covering, just let them break down. There's a squash right there. But there's a squash, there's a female that actually flowered, that actually opened up right there. So I'm gonna get my paintbrush and you know, transfer from the male to the female in a little bit, because I don't see that many bees out here. Yesterday there was enough bees on this plant that would make you back up, but they're so busy taking care of the squash that they don't pay me no mind. But there's purple hull. See, there's a dark purple hull peas over there. I'm gonna have to get them. That patch right there is full of cantaloupe. Let's see, purple hull peas all inside there. They're just everywhere. They just, once if you don't control them, they're gonna grow everywhere. But they taste so good, so I don't bother them. Here's some going to flower. I actually planted a sunflower plant in here, but they overtook it. It's down there, probably done killed over down there. So let me get out of here, work my way around the back, and then I'm gonna get my stick, and we're gonna count some cantaloupes. Let's see if I can find some and count them. Ooh, I got a big old spider web out there. No, that can't stay there. It'd be trying to catch my bees. I don't know if you can see him, but it's right there. I'm about to knock him down. I'll knock him down now. No, that's a big old spider web. If you look at the stick, the spider is right there in the center, and the web is really big. All right, get out of here. Look, his thing way over there. No. I don't need the help of Spider-Man today. All right, here goes some small watermelons. They never even got any bigger than that. It's like it's like they say, it's too hot. Sugar baby, bush sugar baby watermelon. They don't like to grow here. They took off, and then they stopped once it got hot. So don't even try to grow sugar baby. They even have them at Home Depot. Look, here go a cucumber that got super duper long. This one here produces very long cucumbers. But all back here, this is the cantaloupe watermelon row. And I had plenty of watermelons there, and I already picked them all. And you got 2 celery bushes over there, and this is all purple hulls. And this is the back side of the watermelon patch. So there you have the garden. It's just one big old bush of vegetables, every kind of vegetable, you know, possible. Oh, I walked right by that. That's for my oops, stepped on leaves. That is right there for my pickles, and I'm gonna make some seasoning to it. That's dill right there, and it's happy up against, you know, out of the sun. It looks like cucumber plant right there, you know, shades it a little, and the fence shades a little. So everything is strategic. Where you see everything is strategically placed. All my taller plants is on that end of the garden because the sun comes up on that end, and then the sun sets on this end. So let me get my stick now, and we're going to count some cucumbers. All right, where's my long stick? I think I took my long stick out there in the garden and set it somewhere. But I have another one right here that I'm gonna get. What did I do with that long stick? I don't even see it. I must have put it out there. Got one here. I got a stick right here. So let's start our count. Uh-oh. All right, hope the video didn't switch for too long. I might have to edit that out. But anyway, here we go. 1. Now, just in case you didn't see how bushy the garden is, let me show it to you again, and you can compare. If you go back and look at the videos, you'll remember these. Even here, it was just, I had 4 cantaloupe plants. I planted 4 individual. The box The square was as big as that area, and I put one there, one there, one there, one there. So 4 plants was put here. All right, and it was my first time doing it, so I didn't know what to do, whether that would work or not. But I see it does work. So anyway, there's one cantaloupe there, and it's turning orange too. Two. I'll smack them. You can hear it. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have to go around that side. We're gonna stay on this side of those 2, and we'll go around back and see if I can count some back there. So far we're at 6. Oh, didn't see that one. 7. What we got in here? Is there something in here? There's no. I don't know if we probably counted that one back there. That's kind of small. No, that's in the middle center line. 8. We had counted that one. 8. I know there's one back here hidden somewhere, but I don't see it, so we're not going to count it. There's one over there. 9. So yeah, let's move to the other side of the marigold and the basil. I got marigold, basil, and marigold. There's 10, 11, 'Oh, there's a baby. 12. Ooh, there's another one. 13. 13. I don't know if there's one down in here somewhere. Okay, 13. I believe there's another one back there, maybe. But so far, 13. I think we seen one back there, and I said I was going to remember it was back there. But we're going to keep the count at 13. All right, so let's go back here. We'll keep that count 13. 14. 15. 16. These done got so thick back here. There can be one under there somewhere, but I don't see one at the time. Oh, there's a watermelon right there. That's like another Congo. Okay, 17, 18, 19, 19. And I know there's one on the side over here, so that would make 20, but let's walk around there so we can verify. So we're up to 19 already. And I know I missed some. There's one down there. 20. And did I count that one right there? 21. I didn't count that. I didn't count this one either. That one was hidden. I didn't count that one either. 22. I counted those two up front. Didn't count that one. 22. There's one down there. See it? 23. So that's 23 so far from 2 patches. So let's see if I can traverse through the watermelon patch. I got to open up a spot to step. Move this over and dip my boot down in there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Got through there. 23. There's some purple whole peas. I spot them every time I come through. They're so hard to spot, but let me dig them out. So I'll get them when I need to get them. Down through there, there's probably a cantaloupe too, but I'm not going to go down through there. 24. 25. I thought there were more here. Yeah, there's a little one right there. 26. Down through here. There's one right there. 27. 28. Let's see if I can. Oh, sure. I almost stepped on one. Look at that. 29. I almost stepped on that one. They're everywhere. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I can't reach it right now. 35. There's one in there. 36. Let me move it so you can see it. See it in there? 36. I think there's one under here. There's one under there. 37. All right, let me back out of here. There's probably more in there, but I'm not going that far. 37. Whew, Lord. 38, 39, 39, 40, 41, 42. Let's see. We was at 42, 43, 44, and looks like one is hiding in the alleyway. 45, and I can literally see one down through there also. I can't reach it right now, but it's back there. So I got 46 cantaloupes out here that I can see so far. 46 cantaloupes. And I may have missed this one too. That one is hitting inside there. And so I'm willing to gamble and say that's 47. I didn't see that one. Actually, yeah, 47. So let's make it 47. 47 cantaloupes. And I'm sure there's more out here that I missed. But they all actually grow here in Houston, south side of Houston. I planted them back in the end of March, I believe. Going into April, I have to go back in. That's why I videoed this stuff back then, but I'm pretty sure it was into March. And they all grow, but you need the bees. You need plenty of bees to, do their job, like, pollinate, transfer that pollen, and then bees, they show up every day in those patches, and they making the fruit for us. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and I will try to catch that question. All right, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Oh, I meant to show you one more thing. I got some romaine lettuce, and I went over here the first time and forgot and got distracted. But there's romaine lettuce. That's spinach, but that's romaine lettuce that went to seed. That bolted and went to seed, and literally, this right here has the seeds in it. If I open it up, I only have one hand. So one hand to hold the camera, another hand. But if you open it up, see if I can bust it open in my hand. Well, just give me a second. Maybe I can set the camera down. Let me set the camera down for a second. Give me a second. And let me open the seeds up. And put them in dump them in I'll open it up in a way where it's still the plant. Okay. So I opened it up. Let me get the camera back. Sorry about the delay, but as you can see, the end of them stems are the seeds. And one of those will grow a romaine lettuce plant. Can you see them now? So I'll be saving these seeds. Actually, I'm just going to throw these in the dirt somewhere out here, and so I can have my romaine come up if it'll come up in the next couple of days or weeks or whatever. And I know it's kind of hot, but it will grow. Matter of fact, like yesterday, I actually put some seeds in here, and you only need one to come up. So, but I'm gonna try in here. I haven't got anything else to grow in here. Let's see if the romaine, something's got to grow in here. I remember, see the seeds and spread out now. I remember last year I actually was able to grow. See how I plant my seeds? I just throw them in the dirt. Fully all that watering and stuff. They'll eventually get some water, and they'll eventually come up. I can water them, but it's not that serious. When they come up, they come up. I mean, the majority of the plants that's out here, they producing seeds. They produce the fruit, and the fruit is what has the seeds. And then if they can produce the fruit, and the fruit goes bad on the vine, and they drop the fruit. As a matter of fact, there's one drop down there. They drop the fruit right here. The fruit busts open, and it leaves a seed. And if the seed is viable, it's going to turn into another plant. Oh, look at that. There's a bee right there covered in pollen. See him? Where's he at? Oh, I can't see him. There he is. See him? He done went down. He done got his back covered with pollen. Look, he can barely fly. He's trying to get that junk off. Let's go around here. I made a video a couple of weeks about these bees. You can see him. His whole back is covered in pollen. He really wants that stuff off of him. Look at that. See him? Let's see if I can zoom in on him. Look at that. I lost him. But he's still right here in front of me. Where'd he go? There he is. Yep. He's actually wiping that pollen off of himself. Look at it. He's wiping it off onto the leaf. See that? He's raking it off his feet. Look at that. Hey, look, see how much pollen he left on the leaf over there? They're pretty smart. Ain't that something? Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Time to go. Back and back out from the jungle. My garden is a jungle now, and full of life. I even had tobacco worms try to come and attack my tomato plants, but every morning birds would come and pick them off, because you know the tobacco worms start at the top of the plant and work their way down. So by the time they start at the top, the birds show up and see them at the top and jump down in the bush and get them. So that's been a blessing this year. All right, I'm really going this time. All right, bye.